Round 6 starts with a chain stitch. Then 3 single crochet. Start with a chain stitch. 3 single crochet. The first. Attach the stitch marker. The second one. The third. 3 single crochet are finished. Next, a sequence of 1 increase stitch into single crochet. Repeat this sequence 6 times. In the first sequence, 1 increase stitch first. The single crochet. The first. The second. Here is what it looks like after finishing 1 increase stitch into single crochet as one sequence. Complete the remaining 5 sequences in the same way. In the second sequence, 1 increase stitch first. To single crochet. The first. The second. In the third sequence, 1 increase stitch first. To single crochet. In the fourth sequence, 1 increase stitch first. To single crochet. In the fifth sequence, 1 increase stitch first. To single crochet. In the sixth sequence, 1 increase stitch first. To single crochet. Six sequences are done. Next are 3 single crochet. The second. The third. Finally, remove the stitch marker. Crochet a slip stitch. The 6th round of crochet is completed. The 7th round starts with a chain stitch. Then 3 single crochet. The second. The third. Next, 3 single crochet and 1 increase stitch as one sequence. Repeat crocheting this sequence 6 times. First sequence. Three single crochet. The first. The second. The third. One increase stitch. Here is what it looks like after finishing one sequence of 3 single crochet and 1 increase stitch. Complete the remaining 5 sequences in the same way. Second sequence, 3 single crochet. The first. The second. The third. One increase stitch. Two sequences are finished. Complete the remaining 4 sequences on your own. 6 sequences are completed. Next are 3 single crochet. The second. The third. Remove the stitch marker. 1 slip stitch. Round 7 is finished. The 8th round starts with 1 chain stitch. Then, 3 single crochet. The first one. Attach the stitch marker. The second. The third. Three single crochet are finished. Next, 1 increase stitch in for single crochet as one sequence. Repeat crocheting this sequence 6 times. First sequence, 1 increase stitch first. For single crochet. The second. The third. The fourth. An increase stitch in for single crochet as one sequence are finished. Complete the remaining 5 sequences in the same way. A second sequence and increase stitch first. For single crochet. The first. The second. The third. The fourth. Two sequences are crocheted. Complete the remaining 4 sequences by yourself. 6 sequences are completed. Next, 3 single crochet. The first, the second, the third, remove the stitch marker. Crochet a slip stitch. Round 8 is finished. Enlarge the loop and remove the hook. Now let's attach the eyes to the fabric. The eyes are installed between the 5th and 6th rounds of the head. First, find the 5th to 6th rounds. Here is the first round. Second round. Third round. Fourth round. Fifth round. Sixth round. Between the 5th and 6th rounds, start counting from the slip stitch mark. Count to the 7th stitch on the 5th round. The single crochet also has a V shape when viewed from the front. This is a single crochet. The first, the second, the third, the fourth. This is an increased stitch, so it counts as 2 stitches. Fifth stitch. Sixth stitch. This is the 7th stitch. Next to the 7th stitch, install the eye here. Install one eye first. Install the other eye at a position 9 stitches apart. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Next to the 9th stitch, install the other eye. The eyes are installed. Attach the safety back pieces on the back. The eyes are now fixed on the fabric. Bring the yarn back to your hand. Insert the crochet hook back into the loop. Tighten the loop. Next, continue crocheting. The next rounds from 9 to 14 are all the same. Start with a chain stitch. Then 40 to single crochet without increase or decrease. Finally, a slip stitch. Let me demonstrate the crochet method for round 9. A chain stitch. Next, 40 to single crochet without increase or decrease. The first, attach the stitch marker. The second, The third. The fourth. The fifth. The sixth. Everyone, continue crocheting single crochet like this until you complete this round. 40 to single crochet are finished. A slip stitch. Remove the stitch marker. Crochet a slip stitch. Round 9 is done. Rounds 10 to 14 are crocheted the same way as round 9. Please complete these rounds on your own. This is what it looks like after completing round 14. Round 15 starts with a chain stitch. Then 5 single crochet and a decreased stitch as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 6 times. End with a slip stitch. A chain stitch. The first sequence, work 5 single crochet first. The first. Attach the stitch marker. The second. The third. The fourth. The fifth. 5 single crochet are done. Next, a decreased stitch. A decreased stitch means combining 2 stitches into one. For a decreased stitch, work through the front loops of the next 2 stitches. Let's take a look at the front loop. There is a V shape on one stitch. This V shape is composed of 2 strands of yarn. The strand closer to us is the front loop. The one farther from us is the back loop. Next, pick up the front loops of the next 2 stitches for crocheting. Insert the crochet hook through the front loop of the next stitch. Then insert hook through the front loop of the next stitch. You can see there are now 3 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on hook. There are still 2 loops left on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. A decreased stitch is finished. These 2 stitches have become one. This is what it looks like after finishing one sequence of 5 single crochet and 1 decreased stitch. Complete the remaining 5 sequences in the same way. The second sequence, 5 single crochet. The first. The second. The third. The fourth. The fifth. 5 single crochet are finished. 1 decreased stitch. Insert the crochet hook through the front loop of the next stitch. Then insert hook through the front loop of the next stitch. There are 3 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. There are still 2 loops left on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. The third sequence, 5 single crochet. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, five single crochet are finished. 1 decrease stitch. Insert the crochet hook through the front loop of the next stitch. Then insert hook through the front loop of the next stitch. There are 3 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remain on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. The fourth sequence, 5 single crochet. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, one decrease stitch. In the fifth sequence, 5 single crochet. The first one, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, one decrease stitch. In the sixth sequence, 5 single crochet. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, one decrease stitch.
Decrease is to combine 2 stitches into 1 stitch. There are 2 ways to make a decrease. Method 1. Insert hook through the front loops of 2 adjacent stitches. The loop close to us is the front loop. Hook the yarn and pull up loop through the 2 front loops on hook. Yarn on the hook and pull through both loops on the hook. That's a decrease.
6 sequences are finished. Remove the stitch marker. 1 slip stitch. Round 15 is finished. Round 16 starts with a chain stitch. then 36 single crochet without increase or decrease, finally a slip stitch. A chain stitch. 36 single crochet without increase or decrease. Attach the stitch marker. The second. The third. The fourth. The fifth. The sixth. Everyone just keeps crocheting single crochet like this until this round is completed. "36 single crochet without increase or decrease are finished. Remove the stitch marker. Crochet a slip stitch. Round 16 is finished. Round 17 starts with a chain stitch. Then, to single crochet a decrease stitch to single crochet as a sequence. Repeat crocheting this sequence 6 times. Finally a slip stitch. A chain stitch. First sequence to single crochet. The first. Attach the stitch marker. Second one. Two single crochet are finished. 1 decrease stitch. Then to single crochet. The first. The second. This is what it looks like after the single crochet. 1 decrease stitch into single crochet as one sequence are finished. Complete the remaining 5 sequences in the same way. Second sequence to single crochet first. The first. The second. One decrease stitch. Do single crochet. Third sequence to single crochet. The first. The second. One decrease stitch. A single crochet. The first. The second. 3 sequences are done. Complete the remaining 3 sequences on your own. 6 sequences are done. Finally, 1 slip stitch. Round 17 is completed. Round 18 starts with a chain stitch, then 3 single crochet and a decrease stitch as one sequence. Repeat this sequence 6 times. Finally, finish with a slip stitch. A chain stitch. The first sequence, 3 single crochet. The first. Attach the stitch marker. The second. The third. Three single crochet are finished, then 1 decrease stitch. Three single crochet and 1 decrease stitch as a sequence are finished. Complete the remaining 5 sequences in the same way. Second sequence, 3 single crochet. The first. The second. The third. One decrease stitch. Two sequences are completed. The remaining 4 sequences are the same as the first 2 sequences. Please complete them on your own. 6 sequences are completed. Remove the stitch marker. Crochet a slip stitch. Round 18 is completed. Round 19 starts with a chain stitch. Then a decrease stitch into single crochet as one sequence. Repeat this sequence 6 times. Finally, make a slip stitch. Start with a chain stitch. The first sequence, work a decrease stitch first. Attach the stitch marker. To single crochet. A decrease stitch into single crochet as one sequence. The first sequence is done. Finish the remaining 5 sequences in the same way. The second sequence, a decrease stitch first. To single crochet. The sequences are completed. The remaining 4 sequences are the same as the first 2 sequences. Everyone can complete the crochet on their own. 6 sequences are completed. Remove the stitch marker. 1 slip stitch. Round 19 is completed. Round 20 starts with a chain stitch. Then a single crochet in a decreased stitch as one sequence. Repeat crocheting this sequence 6 times. Finally a slip stitch. A chain stitch. The first sequence, 1 single crochet first. Attach the stitch marker. One decrease stitch. Here is what it looks like after crocheting 1 single crochet and 1 decrease stitch as a sequence. Complete the remaining 5 sequences in the same way. The second sequence. A single crochet. One decrease stitch. His sequences are completed. The remaining 4 sequences are the same as the first 2 sequences. Everyone can complete the crochet on their own. 6 sequences are completed. Remove the stitch marker. Crochet a slip stitch.
Change yarn for whole round. We've finished 3 rounds with the orange yarn. Next, we'll change to pink yarn to crochet round 4. Let the orange yarn go. And wrap the pink yarn around your fingers like this. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Then place the pink yarn behind the fabric and pinch them together. Pink yarn round hook and pull it through the loop on the hook. Pull the orange yarn tight. Yarn change is done. Continue to crochet with pink yarn. Then work single crochet. Insert hook into the stitch. Pull the pink yarn tail above the hook so that it can be concealed during crocheting. Hook the yarn and pull up loop. You will get 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn on the hook and pull through both loops on the hook. That's a single crochet. Place a marker in the first single crochet. Continue working single crochet. Insert hook into the next stitch. Pull the pink yarn tail above the hook. Hook the yarn and pull up loop. Then yarn on hook and pull through both loops on the hook. The second single crochet is done.
Round 20 is completed. Next, cut the yarn. Yarn over and pull through. Tighten the yarn. Take out the stuffing from the material pack. Tear it apart to fluff it up. Add it to the fabric in small amounts multiple times. Please finish this step on your own. Adding the stuffing is done. Take out the sewing needle. Thread the yarn end into the sewing needle. Pick the front loops of the last round to close. Tighten the loop. Then, thread the yarn end back and forth through the fabric a few times. This step is to secure the yarn end to prevent it from slipping. Cut off the yarn end. The head of the lesser panda is now completed.